Smoke is quieting down. Seems like we've got to a lot of the smoke. Dub, you got smoke?
What's going on, y'all? This is for my YouTube channel at the Files with Dub. I just want to let you guys know I changed the name of my podcast name. It is now the Can't Dub Me Podcast. I want to let you guys know I'm still going to be covering Joe Budden content. I'm going to cover some of it right here in this video right here today. But also, I want you guys to know I'm going to be covering other people that cover Joe Budden content, like JBP Elevated, Danny from the Stop. I may even talk about some of Chick's videos. I know he had a staff, but now I am talking on some of his videos, and he came back. I don't know what's going on over there, but listen, somebody got to review all of this. I want you guys to tell me who's like, you know, the guys that you like to listen to when it comes to the Joe Budden content. I'm going to be covering a little bit of everything on this channel, not just Joe Budden content anymore, but that is one of my focuses. You get what I'm saying? That's why we're going to be reviewing the reviewers too, because we're going to get down to these narratives. If some of these things are far-fetched, we don't want to do that. We want to talk about the real deal. You know what I'm saying? All right? This is what we're going to do here on this channel. Can't dub me. All right? We back. Now, I just want to say, rest in peace to Malcolm Jamal Warner. You know what I mean? He passed away today. I wanted to pull it up on my phone. You know what I mean? And read it to you guys. His family, it says they were on a vacation in Costa Rica when he was caught in a powerful current off the coast, you know what I mean, in the beach in Lyman, okay? And his official cause of death was confirmed, right, as asphyxia. All right, that's what they're saying it was. Some people were saying it was drowning. I don't know. I guess that's, I don't know. All right. Yeah, rest in peace to him. No, I grew up watching my guy on the Cosby Show as a kid. All of us have. All right, and I just want to give a moment of silence for him. All right. May his family be well. Now, recently on social media, I've seen that 50 Cent is going at Dave Blunt's. I don't know why, but, you know, he shouted out Kanye like, is this your man's? If this your man's, if I see him, I'm going to push him down the stairs. I mean, that was kind of aggressive. I didn't know what that was for. However, I didn't know that Dave Blunt was going to come back at 50 You're Crazy. He came back with a crazy diss track today, you know, talking crazy about 50's baby mother. You know, and usually in beefs, you know, baby mothers and stuff like that are off guard. But, you know, 50, you know, there's no off guards for him. So I guess Dave Blunt just took it there.
Curtis Jackson wanna diss me, nigga must be smoking on fit. Heard your baby mama got a gunshot 9 times, that's 50 Cent. And I just got in a rap game, but I'm about as big as it gets. Why the fuck is this old nigga mad? Cause his baby mama eat shit. Nigga see what I did at K-Kid, nigga see what I did at Snoop. Heard your baby mama eat excrement, heard your baby mama eat poop. Niggas telling me I should back down, but that's not what I'm about to do. Curtis Jackson is an actor, nigga, he ain't really about to shoot.
I do want to see how this is going to go between the two of them. All right. Now, it's a lot going on. Also, I seen something in the headlines today talking about Tyler Perry. He said that he fired his aunt for giving her a job because she was calling out. She was calling out too much. I mean, I would have fired my aunt too. I definitely agree with that. And one of his family members asked for like $1 million or something like that. You know what I mean? You know, when you get up there in the ranks and your family know you start making money and all that, man, things go for a turn sometimes. It usually always does. Now, when it comes to the Joe Budden podcast, today I watched the Patreon. They had Mecca on there. Mecca from, you know, My Expert Opinion. He used to be with Mav Hoffa. It was a really, really, really good episode, right? Mecca was breaking down a lot of things. You know, he was dropping some gems, right? Now, outside of that, when I was watching a pod, there was an interesting part Okay? I'm going to play the clip here in this video. Let's play it right now.
This room. We're back in this room again.
I understand Nicki's side, even with her looking nuts. And I also understand the flip side, at least in regards to Rock Nation, right? All of y'all are business owners. If y'all had somebody that could turn $1 into $40, would you get rid of them?
No.
No, you wouldn't get rid of them.
Not at all.
So regardless of what they say about this Desiree lady, who I don't know and I've never met, all I've ever heard is that she turned $1 into hundreds of dollars. And that's on the low end of what I'm saying. So she could be the most evil person in the world. If I'm Hov, I'm not getting rid of this bitch. I don't give a fuck what y'all are talking about. I'm not. Sorry.
Play it right now. All right. Now, you guys seen that clip, right? Joe Budden, which is crazy. This is crazy, y'all. Last week, he was on his FBA vibe, Black Power vibe, crazy. He was on that type of time. Now, Desiree Perez, she's a brown woman. She's Spanish. She's Latin woman. Okay? Now, I don't want no parts in a Nicki Minaj and Jay-Z beef, right? That's they beef, right? Did you hear what Joe Budden just said? He said he understands both sides. And then he kind of like fronted on Nicki low-key in that by calling her a nut. By saying, like, I understand even though she looks like a nut. Like, he kind of fronted on her right there. That's a fact. He fronted on Nicki. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, dang. And then he was like, I understand the Rock Nation side, because if you could turn $1 into 40, you know, I heard she turned it into hundreds though. You know, you see what Joe doing. You see how he said that? He's a wordsmith. And what he said, that was more leaning to Rock Nation, believe it or not. That's what I analyzed from it. Now, this is nasty, right? I don't really know the details of this, but I do hear that the people that are talking about it, the content creators that are getting strikes on their channels. Like, mad stuff is happening. They're getting cease and desist. So I ain't going to give my take on that. You feel what I'm saying? This is a baby channel. I'm going to just keep it real. I'm going to just keep it on Joe Budden right now. I think that may be a little safer. You feel what I'm saying? We got the files. Now, Joe, man, you are a Rock Nation guy. You know what I'm saying? I think it's wrong because when you was talking about the FBA stuff, right, about black people this, black people that, in one of your episodes, I'm going to play that clip in this too. Let's play that clip real quick.
Shout out to you against Stan, but you been on that lately? I said, I asked you that. I said, where did that come from out of nowhere? You just, did your pops talk to you? What the hell happened? Nigga, Joe just came back like, you know what? Black Americans, we're not getting our respect out of nowhere. I've been here for like 3 years, and he wasn't on that. This past year, he was.
You got to be on it. You got to be, if you on that, you got to be more vocal about it now,
Yes.
because other things are visible and vocal.
Got it. This is my first time.
It's white propaganda.
It is.
It's
Yeah.
what
It
it
sound
is.
like.
It's like, just because you build a park over some shit don't mean that Black America is not. It's
It's a culture. It's still
yeah,
a culture.
don't get me started. I don't want to start with this.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right.
I didn't want to start.
Let's have some fun, man. It's a
hip-hop
weekend anyway.
day, and
Hip-hop.
fuck the Scooter Braun money that he took from Justin Bieber. I don't care.
Got it.
Or didn't.
All right. Now, y'all see him with the FBA thing, right? Now, Joe, excuse me, man. I think that's a little hypocritical. I think you're being a little hypocritical. Because Desiree is Latin. Nicki is black. Hove is black. You think it's right for a black man to employ somebody that's Latin because they turn $1 into hundreds of dollars so they could do whatever they want? They could be the nastiest person on earth. They could be a devil. That's what our people have succumbed to for $1. It has to stop. Has to stop. Like, you gotta come back and change your words or something like that, because that's nasty, dog. That's what got us into the predicament that we in today in America. Come on. For $1, it don't matter what she do. She Latin. She ain't one of us. Even if she was one of us, we would treat her like she's the worst person on earth. You know what I'm saying? You see how other people from other podcasts treat you that look like you, that wanted to see the accountant. You see how they wanted to drag you through the mud. That's not right, Joe. I'm going to just keep it 100. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody going to really keep it 100 nowadays. We got to hold our, black figures, black media figures that have these platforms, high platforms, that's talking about this type of stuff. They got to be kind of corrected when they go out of line. I understand the principle, but that principle is what hurts our own people. She's going against Nicki. It's like some people say, yo, Joe, why you don't talk about it? All right, cool. Now I'm starting to understand maybe why you don't talk about it. Because you're going to say something like this. Maybe you shouldn't talk about it. You shouldn't talk about it. You shouldn't talk about the Rock Nation and, you know what I'm saying? Nicki Minaj thing. But that's what I got to say about that. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm going to go off a little bit into the guys that review the Joe Budden podcast, right? We got JBP Ellivation and we got Danny from the Stop, right? This is going to be a little quick segment. I ain't going to go in too much. But Danny's videos, to me, they be like spot on. When I be watching stuff, I be like, dang. And then like the cast be actually playing into Danny's narratives, or some of this stuff may happen, or Joe may come on the spaces and talk about Danny's video. You know what I'm saying? And play into it a little bit. And it may come to light. You feel me? And they're good. There has been videos where there has been it's been reaches, you know what I'm saying? But that was early on. I haven't heard a Danny video with a reach in like a while. You know what I'm saying? He'd be like really spot on, And when it comes to Ellivation, he be spot on a lot of his videos, but then he be reaching a little bit more to me. And the reason why I think Ellivation may reach a little bit more is because I think that he's actually trying to compete with Danny on releasing videos. You know what I'm saying? Because he heard, how much Danny is making, or hypothetically how much Danny could be making on the YouTube channel. All right. So ever since then, Ellivation has been pumping a lot more videos. But even when I've been watching like the comments, some of Ellivation's comments, people be like, yo, nah, you wrong, this, that, and the third. And then I heard Ellivation say on one of his videos that he's not coming to the spaces. But then I'm like, yo, maybe you should come to the spaces sometimes to get more clarity, on some of the content that you're doing before you pushing it out. Just don't push it out. I know you're trying to get the views. 2.2, 4.6. Some of them go crazy now. I understand, but I think you don't gotta fiend like that, and yeah, but I do like Ellivation's videos. I do like Dating from the Stops videos. You know what I mean? And just to give you a little bit of context, I'm not hating, on the Shane Gillis video that JBP Ellivation did, where he spoke about Joe Budden bringing Shane Gillis there, and this may be great for the pod, and all of this stuff like that. That sounds cool, but I don't think Shane Gillis may even come to the JBP. He's so big, he's doing so much. He just did the SBs and all of that. Parks tried to get him to come a year ago, and but I don't know if Joe wanted him to come back then. But now Joe said I DM'd him, right after I heard it. You know what I'm saying? A little thirsty, But yeah, I don't know if Shane Gillis will actually come to the Joe Budden podcast. And to be honest, Joe Budden says so much about Andrew Schultz in the past, about things that he said, but Shane Gillis said worse. So how could you have Shane Gillis on there and not Andrew Schultz? That just shows that, Joe don't really like Andrew Schultz like that. But, that's something that I analyzed. You know what I'm saying? I know what's going on. We got the files. Y'all got the files. Y'all know what's going on. Y'all watching. Y'all see what's going on. So, yeah, man, I don't think that it is, it's going to happen. I don't think Shane Gillis is going to come there. I think that JBP Ellivation has all of these high hopes for the JBP to get out the urban market and go into this, land with the Joe Rogans and all of them try to be up there like that. But, if he would have came to the spaces, you would have heard Joe say that, he don't want to be number one. He doesn't even care for that. He did say that on a pod, but, on a pod he said that he wanted to be he doesn't want to be in the urban space. He want to be out there in the numbers of all other people. And that's cool. I'm pretty sure he does, but he's not fiending for that in the way that is projected in like an Ellivation video. You get what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. It's a little bit gassed. You know what I'm saying? So, they're cool. Yeah, man. We got to review the reviewers, man. Let me know what you guys think. You know what I'm saying? Let me know, who's better. I got to listen to a Chicks video. That's why I said this is going to be a little bit quick. I just wanted to drop this right now. I wanted to say rest in peace to my guy, Malcolm Theo. You know what I'm saying? From the Cosby Show. We all grew up watching him, especially if you're from the culture. I definitely just wanted to get that out there. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to be back with another video. We're going to be dropping more of these. I'm sorry I haven't been doing it. We've been doing construction, getting this stuff lit in here. You know what I'm saying? I got me a little sponsor, the Paxton Broadleaf Brothers. We got them, promo code DUB. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to put the website in the description up here too as well for you guys to see that. But yeah, man, we changing the channel up. Let me know what you guys think, dog. We here. We're going to be breaking it down. I'm going to have more videos for you, more stuff laid out. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be back. We're going to be back with the files. We're going to be back with the files. And you can't dub me. You already know. Holla.
My guy Dub, too. That's my man, though.
Gang, gang.
That's my man, Big Dub.